Hello, this is Julian Rico, and today it's the day. I said it in the last video that I was going to do a Stanley Cup preview, and you're going to get it from this guy. The Florida Panthers, Eastern Conference champs, seeking for their first Stanley Cup final, first Stanley Cup in franchise history. The Oilers are seeking their sixth Stanley Cup. The last time they won it was 1990. I break it down to you, so let's get to it. The Florida Panthers, first in the Atlantic Division, 52 wins, 24 losses, 6 games were overtime, 110 points. Um, and they were coming in these playoffs, beating the Lightning 4-1 in the first round, the Boston Bruins 4-2 in the second round, and then the latest New York Rangers 4-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Redemption, revenge tour. You can name anything. So shout out to those Florida Panther fans out there to making this far to the Stanley Cup Finals. Congrats. Also, shout out to Edmonton fans out there. Oilers, LA to Canadians. The Oilers, interesting season. Second in the Pacific Division. 49 wins, 27 losses. 6 games were overtime. 104 points. And in the playoffs, we've been a crazy run, beating the Kings 4-1 in the first round, the Vancouver Canucks in 4-3 in the second round, and then the Dallas Stars 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. This Stanley Cup Final features northernmost and southernmost teams, the furthest Stanley Cup Final between two cities in NHL history, and this is a big one. Why is this a big one? Because here's this: a trip from Sunrise, Florida, which is the home of the Florida Panthers, to Edmonton, Alberta, which is in Canada. It's 2,541 miles. So if you're in the car, that was like 3,000 miles from car. So if you're a Florida Panther fan or an Oilers fan, get a flight ticket, please. Unless NHL has something for you guys to maybe, you get to go have a free pass to go to Florida or Edmonton. This beats this miles with this one. This beats the 2011 Cup Final between the Canucks and the Bruins, which came in at 2,500 miles. This explains the multiple extra day offs between games. And I got the schedule for the game. So game 1 will be tomorrow on ABC and ESPN. Plus, all of these games, game 1 to game 7 will be on ABC and ESPN Plus as well. As 8 o'clock p.m. So game 1 will be tomorrow, June 8th, at 8 p.m. Game 2 will happen again in June 10th. Game 3 in June 13th, which will be in Edmonton in Canada. Game 4 will be in June 15th in Edmonton. Game 5 will be in June 18th in back in Florida. Game 6 will be in June 21st, which will be on my birthday. It will be played in Edmonton. Game 7 will play in June 24th in Florida. So games 1, 2 will be played in Florida before games 3, 4 in Edmonton. 5, 7 will be in Florida, and 6 will be in Edmonton. Again, Florida seeking their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. This is, of course, their third appearance in franchise history. If you look back at their history, their first was 2007, lost to the Carolina Hurricanes. Then you go last year, and it was a Cinderella story. Lost to the Golden Knights. Now it's revenge. It's now time for revenge for these Florida Panthers. The Oilers are seeking their sixth Stanley Cup. They have the last time they've won this was since 1990. So long way to go. But if you're an Oilers fan, if you knew this history, you might want to talk about to Vancouver, Montreal, and all of your Canadian friends over there. But anyways, Canadian teams have lost in 6 straight Stanley Cup appearances. Um, the last time we had a Canadian team in the final was Montreal. They lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning, which that team was a back-to-back Stanley Cup champion. Is this Oilers team really going to end this streak? I could see it. It's gonna depend on the matchup that I'm gonna break down. Only 2 matchups. I do think this is gonna be good matchups. Key matchup number 1: Connor McDavid versus Alexander Brozovic, both centers. So McDavid leads NHL forwards in total skating distance, 72.55 miles, and ranks second behind only Dallas Stars defenseman Mario Hensigman, 77.03 in the category this postseason. Good stuff for him. While Broadcliffe, I'll hope to pronounce his last name, he leads the NHL in takeaways, 22 this postseason. And then I get the goalie matchup. Stuart Skinner versus Sergeant Bobsky. Skinner has been really great against the Stars in that series. Well, Serge Bobrovsky, who really had a good series in that. But I want to give you a quick thing about the Oilers, because this is a team that nobody expects to be in this position. So let's rewind to flashbacks. Back in November 12th, 2013, the Oilers were 31st in the NHL with the start of the record, 3 wins, 9 losses, and 1 game that went to overtime. Their head coach, Jay Woodcroft, was fired and hired Chris Lunch. I'll try to pronounce their names, don't worry. Who has been playing his trade in the American Hockey League since 2019 to 20, has given his first NHL head coaching job. And what he's doing over there, he's doing an amazing job. And if you look what he has done to achieve this job, his resume is great. This is what happened. Over the final 69 games of the regular season, after Knub was hired, the Oilers were the best team in the NHL, picking up 46 wins and 97 points to finish with the 7th most points and 4th most wins. And this Oilers team is now in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're looking to win their 6th Stanley Cup Final. Now it's my prediction. I always think, if I were to think who will win this series, I can't say who will win the series first, but let's start. Game 1 will happen tomorrow. It's gonna be loud in that arena with these Florida Panthers fans, hoping they get their rat tails and throw it in the ice hockey field. I think Florida takes game 1, and then game 2, the Oilers take it back. We go to Edmonton for game 3, and I think the Oilers get this before the Panthers. This is where the Panthers really make some big ones. They will win game 4, game 5, and then I think the Oilers are going to fall to the Florida Panthers in game 6. I see the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since in franchise history. And this is the reason why. Revenge tour. This has been their revenge tour. They've been healthy. They got the best team over this Oilers team. I get this Oilers team. I get the Canadian teams losing 6 straight, but you want to give this Edmonton Oilers credit team. They deserve to be in this spot, and we'll hope to see what the future will brings to them. But the Florida Panthers last season in a heartbreaker series against the Golden Knights was a heartbreaker. And Florida feel like they want to win it now, and this is their year. And I could see this a game 5 or game 6. Overall, I'm going to change my prediction to I think the Florida Panthers are going to win it in game 5. Should I go game 5 or game 6? Okay. I'm going to go with Florida Panthers will win the first 2, and then Edmonton will get game 3, and then Florida will finish with 2 wins, and they will want to win it in front of their home crowd in Sunrise, Florida. So wish the best of luck to the Oilers and the Panthers. Shout out to those Florida Panthers and Oilers fans. I want to give y'all a shout out because this is the biggest moment of your lives to see these players step in a hockey field in what their dream could come true, either winning with their dreams coming true of hoping to lift that Stanley Cup trophy. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I will leave your predictions down below in the comment section below. Who will win the Stanley Cup Finals? Will it be a 6th Stanley Cup for the Edmonton Oilers, or will it be the first Stanley Cup for the Florida Panthers? And we'll find out at Sunrise in Florida in game 1 tomorrow. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.